Yeah, and a lot has been talked about empathy and saying that, oh, in our world we need empathy, leaders need empathy. And the challenge with empathy is this: when we are empathetic, it means we are putting ourselves in other people's shoes. And sometimes that takes away, we start to feel the pain. So it takes away from our executive brain function, and we may not be as useful to the other person. And I give that example of my uncle, who's no longer there. But when my aunt used to have labor pains, my uncle would experience labor pains as well. And then at the time when it was time to drive her to the hospital, she realized that he couldn't even tie his shoelaces. He was tying the laces together, the two shoes, and then he couldn't walk. And so she had to drive herself and he would sit by her. So he had a lot of empathy for what she was going through, but he was not useful to her in that moment. And so compassion is that I realize what's going on, but how can I step in? What will be useful here, in the way I can support you? And so I encourage leaders, when I talk about mindful leadership, I encourage them to look at compassion and not just empathy. Yeah, empathy is required, but let's just also bring it to the level of compassion.